very hot July 8th from Arlington, Texas. It's the middle game of the three-game series against the Texas Rangers. Halos looking to snap that seven-game losing skid tonight against their division opponent.
On Grissom with a hard line drive single and a 1-0 lead for the Angels. It's gone. Joe Adell goes to the opposite field. This one is belted, and the Joe Show Part 2.
Adell says hello and then some.
Grissom just throws his bat at that, flips it fair down the right field side. 2 more RBIs. He's 4 for 4, and this double makes it 9-0 Halos. Mike Trout celebrating the anniversary of his major league debut with another home run. Say goodnight to the Rangers. This was a rout. The Angels bashed their way to a 13-1 win. Back for one more here in Arlington, Texas at Globe Life Field. It's the finale and rubber game of this three-game series as ABTV, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, brings you the Angels and the Rangers here in Arlington tonight. Alongside Mark Gubicza, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gooby, the Angels snapped a 7-game skid in a big way last night.
They scored a lot of runs. They hadn't been scoring runs during that 7-game losing streak, but they certainly did a lot of that last night. Some great swings from the top to the bottom of the lineup. It's good to see that. Well,
hoping for a breakout, the Angels got one and then some last night. They only scored 16 runs total over their previous 7 games, but put up 13 yesterday.
Yeah, you see the batting average with runners in scoring position. This batting average in general, the home runs, 3 home runs last night, had 4 during that 7-game losing streak, and extra base hits, 7 of them last night. They had it rolling.
Last night, the Angels offense had it going from the early point in the game. Zach Neto was really the table setter in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, turning on some pitches, getting right down the line. A couple doubles for him, 3 hits in the game for Zach Neto. Good to see that. 3 runs scored, setting that tone at the top of the order. But Ron Grissom, boy, I'll tell you what, he had some rockets in his game. 4 hits, 4 RBIs, covering the entire field. Boy, I love the way he was swinging the bat last night.
First Angels 3-hitter to do that since Mike Trout in 2018. But Joe Adell was the headline stealer last night with his 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, a career high.
I love going the other way with that first home run to right field. Then he smashed that one there to left center field. It's good to see that power. 5 RBIs in the game with those 2 home runs for Joe Adell, lifting the baseball extremely well. Speaking of that, Mike Trout did it again for the 48th time in his career. 422nd career home run. Welcome back on that 15th anniversary of your debut.
And he brought some immediate stability back to the lineup yesterday as Mike Trout back in center field tonight as the Angels look for this series win against Nathan Eovaldi and the Rangers.
Yeah, it's a tough pitcher right there, but you got to be aggressive early, especially in counts, first inning. And Mike Trout being back and that presence in the lineup makes everybody in this lineup that much better.
Now, Reed Detmers dominated Texas the last time he faced them, a career high 14 strikeouts. He'll oppose Eovaldi here tonight. The rubber game of this series, the Angels trying to take 2 out of 3 here in Texas. Mike Trout back in center, the 12-time All-Star, batting second again tonight. Angels baseball on ABTV, brought to you by Hyundai. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right, they almost feel wrong. Only your SoCal Hyundai dealer. By Jack in the Box, get fired up with the Hot Ones Munchie Meal. And by Big Noise Lager, ice cold, crushable. Light the fuse. Kaboom!
Wow, love how you read that one, Wayne. Kaboom!
How about 13 runs? That's a kaboom from the Halos yesterday. Angels batting order today is brought to you by Theodore Robbins Ford. Zach Neto leads it off. Mike Trout back in center field hitting second, then Shonowell bats third. It's Soler DHing, Grissom in the lineup at second base. Josh Lowe's in right field with Joe Adell not in there today. Guzman at third, O'Hoppe catching, Meckler in left. And that's how the Angels line up against a guy who's normally had good numbers against them, but has had some issues this year. Nathan Eovaldi on the mound for Texas.
Yeah, especially when you think about the home runs and the runs allowed in the first inning, and the home runs he's allowed on the first pitch. put in play, my go-tos to have some success, even though he's 7-4 in his career against the Halos. Turned that one around today by jumping on the first pitch. A .444 batting average, 7 home runs, and OPS just under 1,300 in power success on the cutter. He's allowed 5 home runs and over .460 slugging percentage on his cutter.
A ton of home runs by Eovaldi this year. He gave up only 10 last year, 19 this year.
And the defense behind him. He's around the plate. He throws a lot of first pitch strike to end. He's played a number of different positions. Been solid. 2 defensive runs saved at shortstop. He's played first, second, shortstop, third base. He's played all 3 outfield positions. He plays them all pretty well. And a strong throwing arm. Young back at third base here today for Texas. And you got their DH back here today. Langford, usually a really good outfielder himself.
And the Rangers trying to get healthier. Not only is the American League West wide open, the number 2 seed in the American League is wide open. The entire American League really is wide open. Tampa Bay has the best record, but they're hardly a world beater by any stretch. It's going to be a very interesting final 2.5 months in the American League, and then into October. It's anyone's game in the AL. Zach Neto leads it off tonight, and on the first pitch he cranks one toward right center field. Moving back for it is Cawley, still going out near the wall. He gets turned around, but he makes the catch. Bit of a stumble as Cawley went back for that ball, kept going back, and was able to grab it on the warning track.
There's nearly another home run on the first pitch put in play against Eovaldi, and it's not necessarily always a first pitch fastball. He'll throw a number of different pitches. That's right towards the 410 sign. Ball was hit extremely well by Zach Neto, 103 miles per hour off the bat.
Nathan Eovaldi has allowed 3 leadoff home runs this year. Leadoff batters have a .471 on base percentage against him to start the game, and Neto almost added another leadoff smash and just missed it to the deepest part of this yard. No balls and a strike now on Trout, who hit his 18th home run of the year yesterday.
Really like that swing though from Neto. That's a good shot the other way like that. I mean, it's 410 there to that part of the field.
The distances in this ballpark are by design, and that 410 honors number 10, Michael Young, who had an incredibly good career as a member of the Texas Rangers and was around the ballpark this week.
One of the all-time great guys.
7-time All-Star in a Rangers uniform. Had many 200 hit seasons. As Trout takes ball 1, and the Rangers got Michael Young, all for the price of one Esteban Loaiza. That didn't turn out too good for Loaiza eventually. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Trout.
That number retired too.
And it's 2-2. Yeah, the number 10 retired, the number 7 as well for Pudge Rodriguez. That's why it's 407 to straightaway center field here. 334 down one line for Nolan Ryan. 326 down another for Johnny Oates. They got everybody covered here. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes on Trout. Number 29 retired here as well for Adrian Beltre. So they've done nicely to honor their past. Even making the 5 feet of difference there so they can get both Beltre and Nolan Ryan in.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Trout as he fouls one back. Trout celebrated his 15th anniversary of being a big leaguer by smashing one into the seats in left center yesterday. His first game back from the IL.
He seared that baseball. I mean, you talk about right on the line out of the yard. 48th time he's homered against the Rangers.
Kind of like he seared one side and then flipped it over and seared the other. He hits this ball sharply but foul. Faced Eovaldi a lot, as you'd expect. These guys came up in the same year. You don't think about Eovaldi being around that long, but he has been. 2011 was his rookie year. Swing and a miss by Trout. So Eovaldi strikes out Trout for the 11th time in 35 career matchups.
Yeah, that splitter is devastating. He came into the game with 55 punch-outs with his splitter. Make that now 56. See that grip? Definitely more of a splitter than you would say a forkball. That's a splitter, and it's nasty.
And it's the pitch that he throws the most. I mean, he has almost completely backdoored his fastball at this point. He throws his splitter, his cutter, and his curveball. all more than the fastball. Here's a bloop to center, and Nolan Shotwell has the game's first hit.
So that's a pretty good numbers in his career versus Eovaldi. Just punch that ball to center field.
He throws his splitter 36% of the time. That's by far the pitch that he uses the most, especially with 2 strikes.
And it's very, very effective too when you look at the strikeouts with it, with 56 now. The run value of +10.
It was last year when he started throwing that splitter this much. He's upped the usage even more this year. Here's a rocket to the left field corner. Soler sends one deep and foul.
Not by a whole lot, that's for sure. But he has given up 5 home runs versus his splitter. Like I said, Wayne, he throws a lot of first pitch strikes. He's about 65% first pitch strikes, so he's trying to get that one in the strike zone. When he gets the 2 strike, that's the one he'll throw like he threw the Trout out of the zone.
It's a unique way of pitching, and it's not even a way that he's normally done it. This is only the last couple of years where Eovaldi has become so splitter heavy and abandoning that 4-seam fastball more and more. And there's Soler chasing a splitter out of the zone to make it 0-2.
That's why I think it's so important to be able to be aggressive on the first pitch. We were talking with Eric on the pregame show. There's no reason to think about working counts and get him out of the game, because if you fall behind, you're going to deal with that splitter out of the strike zone. You want that splitter, that first pitch.
Eovaldi goes to the heater there and strikes out Soler to end the inning. Last time Reed Detmers faced the Rangers, it was total domination at Angel Stadium. 14 strikeouts, only 1 man to even reach base. It was Berger on a home run. No walks, 1 hit, 14 strikeouts, a franchise historical achievement.
Yeah, 21 straight batters. He had his 4-seam fastball running perfectly. It set up his slider from both sides of the plate so effectively against the Rangers with 14 punches and no walks.
Let's see what he has in mind for an encore today. The overall numbers, if you just look at those numbers for Detmers, outside of the strikeout percentage, not terribly impressive, although the whip is pretty low for a pitcher with an ERA above 4, as Justin Foscue stands in and takes ball 1. The Rangers lineup with Wyatt Langford back from the IL and Josh Young playing for the first time in this series. Josh Smith got shipped out to AAA when Langford was activated today. Foscue with a fly ball to center field. This is Trout's first chance back from the injured list out there, and he makes the catch.
And my go-to is Reed Detmers continue this stretch in which he's dominated the Texas Rangers, and it's both sides of the plate with his slider. We mentioned those punch-outs with 56 strikeouts with his slider, but work ahead all night. When you look at the batting average against Reed Detmers, he had an account throughout the game, especially that first pitch. It's 193. It jumps up dramatically when he's behind the count. So working ahead, very, very effective and very, very important for Reed Detmers.
1 out as Wyatt Langford stands in. Langford is DHing, fresh off the injured list. Although is he ever fresh, because he's always on the injured list. This was his 6th IL stint already in his major league career.
The way he plays so aggressively in the outfield and on the bases. And I remember Paul Molitor was like that early in his career. Same thing with George Brett. He got hurt a lot because they played so aggressively.
Yeah, good player when he is out there. Langford, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a hamstring injury. Sometimes it's been an oblique. Sometimes his neck or his back or whatever. Aches and pains. They're playing that operation game, it seems like, with Langford all the time. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's right in there from Detmers.
Oh, you remember that game?
I do remember that.
Yes, that was a good one.
Still out. They still get it at Target or whatever. Skip Schumacher is the manager of the Rangers, just penciling in whoever he can as far as the health goes for this ball club.
Yeah, it's a mix and match, but his starting pitching and his bullpen have been good to keep him in this race.
Orange County native Schumacher has used the 4th most lineups in the major leagues this year. Aliso Niguel High School still lives in San Clemente, just 1 town south of our favorite Dana Point.
Yes, indeed.
Ah, yeah. That's right there, strike 3, and Detmers punches out Langford.
That
2 up, 2 down.
fastball can be really effective. That's
a lot of times everyone's looking secondary pitches, but he runs that fastball, especially on that plane. He will lock up a lot of hitters here tonight. That's the paint right on the outside corner.
2 outs, and Brandon Nimmo is the batter now. Amazingly, Detmer's got a no decision for what was ultimately one of the best starts ever by an Angels pitcher. 14 punch outs in that game with only 1 hit allowed. No walks. Really just an exceptional outing. 21 in a row retired. As Nimmo hits one in the air toward left center, it's a long way out, and it is gone. Brandon Nimmo powers one out the other way.
I'm shocked that that baseball got out.
And I saw Meckler give up on it. I was surprised. And then it cleared the fence. So Nimmo, his 9th home run, gives Texas the lead.
It's a 22-degree launch angle at 104 off the bat. I mean, he just out of the batter's box. He's not thinking he hit that one out either. Meckler didn't think that ball was out. I was thinking it was, oh, he's going to have a tough time being able to cut that one off, keep him to a double. And he just kept carrying.
So the Rangers score first tonight. They've been baseball's best team this season when they allowed no runs in the first inning. And now adding to that, they score one of their own.
It was just the 2nd home run versus the lefty.
I was going to say, there haven't been many. Now Josh Young torches one to the gap in left center field.
And the defense behind Reed Detmer so far, some baseballs hit in the air, and right on cue, Mike Trout getting that first start since coming back from the IL. His 64th start out in center field. He does have 3 outfield assists, Meckler and Lowe in right field tonight. So we've seen him play all 3 outfield positions of late for Josh Lowe and Neto Guzman. Grissom at second tonight, showing him all back in there. Ohapi behind the plate. When you look at those numbers for Young against Reed Detmer, it has not been pretty, but that was a pretty good swing there.
A rare homer from a lefty off of Detmer's. The last one was Matt Olson on April 8th. Before that, he had to go to Andrew Benintendi in September of 2024 against Detmer's. Berger rolls one into left field, a base hit past a diving Guzman. No play at the plate as Young comes home. 3 straight hits with 2 outs, plating 2 runs for the Rangers.
Just surprising when these guys are having swings. That was the first hit for Young in his career versus Detmer's. He was 0 for 11, and Berger does have a home run, but he was just 1 for 5. Even Nimmo, not a big sample size, he was 0 for 3. So 3 guys with limited success against Detmer's. Success here 3 in a row.
Swing and a miss by Ezekiel Duran, who's playing shortstop tonight. Just out of nowhere, as Detmer's had the first 2 men retire, but Nimmo knocked one out the other way to left center. Now Young scoring on Berger's base hit, where Berger had the only hit against Detmer's back at Angel Stadium in May. As Detmer's pitched what he said was the 2nd best game of his life behind his no-hitter.
Well, there'll never be a better game than his no-hitter. I don't care if you have 25 strikeouts in the game.
Unless he has a no-hitter with more strikeouts.
Yeah, well,
or a
yes.
perfect game.
Yes, well, yes.
There's still some room. That provided the manager doesn't take him out midway through the perfect game.
Oh, that's been the talk of baseball. Trust me.
1 ball, 2 strikes. I saw a stat today. Our guy Blake sent it over. That in the first 110 years, nobody had ever been taken out of a perfect game with 6+ innings of perfection. It happened only 3 times in the last 10 years, and now it's happened twice in the last week. 5 times in the history of baseball, twice in the last week.
No. That's all I can say is no.
Yes. Stop doing it.
Yes.
That's what I have to say. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ezekiel Duran. Donnie Kelly, look, he couldn't wait to do it yesterday with Jared Jones. He chased him into the locker room to do it. 2 outs with a runner on first. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. What if John Wathan or somebody would have tried to do that to you?
I would have been running to the locker room.
He might have been.
Yes.
2-2 on Duran with 2 outs. And a foul behind home plate. So Detmers has had to now battle for this final out of the inning. He didn't have to really battle for any of his outs the last time he faced this team.
Usually when you think about that first time through, he's been exceptional. Just a 168 batting average against him the first time through a lineup. Already a couple runs scored. And a lot of pitches piling up now.
Fly ball right field. Josh Lowe gets ready for that. And the inning ends with a couple of 2-out runs for the Rangers.
And here's today's Hyundai Key for the game today. Going Meatloaf today. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Got an opportunity to win the series. Win 2 out of 3 against the Rangers already. 4-1 against them so far this year. Chance to win the series here in Texas.
The old Joe Madden style Meatloaf series, 2 out of 3, and he would always call those series a meatloaf when his team would win 2 out of 3. Vaughn Grissom looks at a strike from Eovaldi leading off here in the second.
That ain't bad. That means you're playing 67% baseball the whole year.
That's 108 good. Wins.
Yes.
Not too bad.
Yeah, you'll take that.
Ground ball up the middle, and Grissom continues his roll. After going 4 for 5 yesterday, he has his 5th hit now in the last 2 games.
Continues to be Vince Vaughn Grissom. He's crushing their party. Good swing back up the middle. He's used the whole field exceptionally well.
Now, yesterday when Grissom had his 4 hits, each one put him on base in front of Joe Adell, who ended up with a career high 5 RBIs yesterday. But Adell not in there today. It's Josh Lowe playing right field. There's Joe.
He'll be joining us in the 3rd inning today.
He will. The Joe Show is going to take his talents to the television broadcast here this evening.
3 hits over the last couple of games for Vaughn Grissom. 105, 106.9, and that was 103.
Trying to get rolling here against Grissom, or against Eovaldi, I should say, as Lowe fouls it back. No balls, 2 strikes.
Imagine you might see that splitter now. There was that splitter. That's Lowe 3 for 8 in his career versus Eovaldi. Let's try to get one of those splitters or one of those pitches in the lower 3rd so he can try to lift it.
Still 0-2. Lowe has done a better job offensively since coming back from AAA. Batting .316, his OPS around .850 since being recalled on June 24th. So a couple of weeks stretch now for Lowe. He's battling Eovaldi here. The count's still 0-2.
Eovaldi got away with that. He tried to backdoor that cutter. It ended up being a lot of the plate. Josh Lowe just missed it.
Eovaldi does get the strikeout eventually. Got him with the curveball. 3rd punch out tonight.
Last time out against Eovaldi, the Halos got some hits together. Take a look at how they were able to get that. Take a look at our StatCast 3, powered by Google Cloud. Couple on the splitter, 1 on the cutter, 4-seamer and sinker. And if you look where the spots were, a lot of that was the middle part of the plate, and some pretty good swings on those when he got the heart of the plate against him.
First pitch swinging here, a fly ball to the left field corner by Guzman, but that hook's foul as well. We've seen a couple of balls now struck against Eovaldi that have just hooked foul down that line. Home run distance from Soler and now Guzman.
Aggressive on the first pitch. I go back to, he'll throw that split on the first pitch. It's not always fastballs, but he wants to get ahead of the count, so aggressive swing. That was a good swing there by Guzman. Just pulled the foul.
The ball's in a strike on Guzman as Eovaldi just missed with the fastball there. It's 1-1. Eovaldi's won his last 4 starts, and he's had at least 9 strikeouts in each of his last 3.
He throws a ton of strikes too. As you can see already, 20 strikes and 23 pitches thrown.
Trying to win his 5th consecutive start. Last Ranger pitcher to do that was him. He won 6 in a row one time last year, and you see looking for his 4th straight game with 9 strikeouts would join Yu Darvish and Nolan Ryan as the only Rangers pitchers to ever do that. Of course, Ryan was well into his 40s by then.
And still throwing no hitters.
Through that last one in 91 when he was 42 years old. Swing and a miss by Guzman. So Eovaldi with now 4 strikeouts already tonight against the first 7 batters that he has faced.
He's got that splitter working when he's ahead of the count. It's devastating. Very little spin on that splitter.
Ball 1 to Logan O'Hoppe. O'Hoppe catching for a 3rd straight game in this series. He's just 1 hit in 9 at bats against the Rangers in the first 2 games. Way out in front of that curveball from Eovaldi.
You can really separate his speeds on his pitches too, besides the different shapes.
Since joining the Rangers, the Angels have had very little success against Eovaldi. As a 1.50 ERA in 6 starts.
He's had 8 swing and misses already. And 4 on a splitter.
Angels did okay against him back on May 23rd. Won that game, scoring 3 runs in 7 innings. But Eovaldi has been sharp so far tonight. He has struck out 5 in the first 2 innings.
Benefiting from the return of Mike Trout to the lineup last night. Lots of offense to go around in the game. Zach Neto certainly part of that. He had 3 hits in the game last night with a pair of doubles in the win. I asked him before the game today, do you notice how differently you're getting pitched to with Trout being back in the lineup? He says he jokes with Mike all the time. Yeah, I actually have protection behind me in the lineup now. Guys actually want to throw to me now. But he said it's still the same thing where I need to swing at strikes and be able to take the balls that are off the plate. Guys don't want to face Trout, obviously. And when there's an open base, they're going to try everything they can to pitch to me so they can give the base to him. So it's cool to have him back, to have him hitting behind me, and knowing that I'm going to get pitched in the zone pretty often. And guys, the numbers say that's exactly what happens to Neto when Trout's back in the lineup.
Yeah, it allows him to center in on the strike zone and not be overly aggressive, chasing out of the strike zone, trying to do the damage himself. Take those pitches if they're out of the zone. If you pick up a walk here and there, so be it. But you're going to get pitched a lot more, especially with Mike Trout hitting behind you, because they don't want to deal with him swinging the bat.
And Trout back in there for a 2nd straight game and in center field for the first time. He'll be challenged here with a liner from Higashioka as Trout makes the catch 1 away here in the 2nd inning.
That in itself is tremendous to get him out.
Higashioka had a pinch hit home run yesterday. The Rangers now have pinch hit home runs in back-to-back games. Foscue did it on Tuesday. Higashioka yesterday. Let's go back to 1997 for the last time the Rangers had pinch hit home runs in consecutive games. Mike Sims and the Deacon Warren Newsom. Swing and a miss by Cam Cauley, who was not alive when that happened.
Some good names though you brought up there.
Got to throw in the Deacon when I can.
Yes, you got to.
Actually hit that against the White Sox, his former team. Here's Cauley slapping one into right field. That's a base hit for the 23-year-old rookie outfielder Cawley, just his 4th major league hit. Detmer's dealing with a lot more traffic than the last time he faced Texas.
It's unreal. Just one hit. There was a home run, 14 punch outs, more traffic already. See if he can get a ground ball double play.
Talked about Detmer's and his no-hitter. Well, the Angels have had more no-hitters than games like Detmer's pitched in his last start against the Rangers. Ball 1 here to Osuna. 14 strikeouts with no walks. It's only the 4th Angel pitcher to ever do that, joining Frank Tanana, Dan Herron, and Andrew Heaney. Like Nolan Ryan had a lot of 14+ strikeout games, but he walked hitters in those.
He made him uncomfortable.
Runner going as Osuna taps one foul, but for a 14 strikeout no walk performance by an Angel, only happened 4 times. That's less frequent than a no-hitter.
His stuff was so good that day. Yeah, the shadows played early, the first 4+ innings, but the last 4 innings, it was all his dominant stuff.
Two balls and a strike on Osuna. We talked about it last night with Mackenzie Gore. There are still these games for Detmers where it gives up some runs, gives up some hits, that ERA climbs, and it just doesn't seem like the overall numbers match with the talent level. Runner going as Osuna fouls off another.
I think they're just straight steals. They're not. You usually don't put a hit and run on with a left-handed pitcher. That's a straight steal. You can tell by the head-first slide into second base. Detmer's been susceptible to a stolen base. 10 of them so far this season. 2 been caught.
Cawley at AAA this year was perfect in 29 stolen base attempts. He has not stolen in the majors yet, but he'll not need to steal now as he advances to second on a ball in the dirt. The wild pitch puts Cawley in scoring position.
And right down in front of the plate. Slider bites in that dirt and hit Bill Miller.
Well, else that would have gone to the backstop. Cawley might have had another base. Well, Hoppy had his glove turned kind of back and forth. He wasn't sure which way to go with it. Never really got his glove on it. Now Osuna rolls one to first. Shonowell races to the bag and gets there a step ahead of Osuna as Cawley goes to third.
Good decision by Shonowell there. Detmer's a little bit late going, breaking towards first base. Shonowell wins that race with Osuna to first base.
Here's Foscue, who lined to center field his first time. Taking ball 1. He's been rolling lately and kept his spot on the roster with Josh Smith being sent down. A couple of years ago, Smith might have been the Rangers' best player in that 2024 season.
For a while, he was extremely dangerous against the Halos.
Just has not hit much this year, so it's sent out. Smith batting just .230 with only 5 extra base hits in 40 games this year, so enough of a sample size to want to see somebody else. Foscue has hit 4 home runs in just his last 21 games, putting the 1 in this series on Tuesday. 2 balls and a strike to count.
Well, you look at his face as a right-handed version of look like Adam Frazier.
Well, they're both Mississippi State guys, so maybe that's something to do with it. Frazier and Foscue, both Bulldogs. Foscue was a first-round pick out of Mississippi State in 2020.
Trying to get him to chase a fastball upstairs. time, I think, more likely he's going to throw a slider to his back door of the slider.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a man on third.
And fastball away there.
Askew pops this one up, and it's out of play. He went to the 3-2 curveball, looking to drop in strike 3, but he missed. And it's a walk to allow Langford to bat.
That was the right pitch there, the backdoor breaking ball. Just slipped out of his hand.
Hoppy goes to the mound as Langford is due up, and we will take a look at the dinner menu tonight at Jack in the Box.
Get fired up with my new Hot Ones Munchie Meal with a Sriracha Curly Fry Burger or Buffalo Chicken Tater Melt.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Good news is I was already fired up way before that.
Yes, as well you should be.
Wyatt Langford struck out looking his first time. Ball 1 from Detmers. Langford with the 3rd fastest climb from Major League Baseball's draft to an opening day roster when he made it a couple of years ago.
And we had a great spring that year.
He played 44 minor league games in 2023 after being drafted. Well, Nolan Shotwell also drafted in 23, came up during the 23 season. As Langford waited until opening day of 24 to come up. 2 balls and a strike.
Already a lot of pitches going already for Reed Detmers now.
John Olerud needed 6 minor league games before getting to the big leagues, and Pete Incaviglia needed 0. Saw Olerud throw out the first pitch in Seattle, I think, the other day.
Boy, he was a tough at bat.
2 balls and a strike on Langford. Olerud's numbers get lost in the shuffle of the steroid era, but man, he had some incredible years.
The way he hit the ball to left field, turned on pitches, back up the middle, fastballs, secondary pitches, so smooth defensively.
Yeah, a great player. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Langford.
3 Gold Gloves at first. I mean, he was that good over there. He got caught up in, Don Mattingly's and the Keith Hernandez, the guys like that, JT Snow, Wally Joyners of the world, but Olerud was outstanding at first base.
Well, none of those guys are in the Hall of Fame, and 2 or 3 probably should be.
Still looking for some swing and misses on his slider today. He didn't have many against Boston either with his slider.
He's had a lot of strikeouts with that pitch this year. And Langford tags one toward right center, but Josh Lowe had him played right and makes the catch to win the inning. Big night for Joe Adell yesterday. 2 home runs, reached a new career high with 5 RBIs in the win over Texas.
Power to right, smashed it to left center.
As always, joining us down in the Angels dugout here in the top of the third as Wade Meckler looks at strike one. Joe, what had you locked in last night?
Well, what's going on, guys? We stuck to their approach. McKenzie's really, really good pitcher, really elite level stuff, and we were able to kind of keep the ball up, out over, and wait for our pitches. So it was a good job all the way around.
Joe, when you got 2 home runs, you got Torrey Hunter sitting in that dugout there next year. What did you say? You think, oh, maybe I could tie Torrey Hunter, the last guy to hit 3 home runs in a game for the Halos. Did he have anything to say to you at all?
No, he was keeping it cool. I'm sure he was eyeing me down, though, during the game. I really didn't know that, actually. But nice swing. Yeah, it's really crazy. Every time he shows up, something seems to happen. So I guess it's a good luck charm at this point.
Wade Meckler with a base hit leading off here in the third. Joe, what is the relationship like with you and Torrey, and how come it does seem to coincide with his arrivals around the ball club that you have a big night?
I don't know. I was joking with him. I said he should be built into my contract at some point. But no, he just, someone who's done it as long as he is, or he has, and, with the type of career that he had and the success, and everybody loves Torrey Hunter. Like, everybody knows that. And I've been lucky I played with his son coming through the minor leagues when I was younger, and really got to know him at a young age and really just build a connection. So he's such a good baseball guy, but, even outside of baseball, he's just a good guy to have around the clubhouse. So it's been awesome for us.
Joe, prior to last night's game, you had 5 hits in the last 2 games, and then you get 2 baseballs you hit in the air. What is the difference between that as far as getting a good swings for hitting the ball hard on the ground or on the line than to be able to lift the ball?
100%. Me and Torrey were actually talking about that the other day, of just understanding that you're going to have the A, the B, and the C swing, and all great hitters have them. And, for me, I was kind of hovering around that B to C swing, getting the job done. Swing at net.
There's one off the glove of Young.
Come on, baby.
Neto gets the job done.
Attaboy.
Trailing into second after Meckler's safe at third.
That was a rocket there, too.
That was awesome. Just like that right there, just getting it done, not trying to do too much. But, yeah, that's kind of the idea, is just really understanding not every day you're going to get a pitch to hit a homer on, but you got to take advantage of the pitches you get and to try to do something with them. And not every day is going to be an A swing. And so really just focusing on putting the ball in play and making something happen.
Brings up Mike Trout with 2 men in scoring position here. We'll see if Neto gets credited with the double there off the glove of Young. They gave him a single, and he took second on the throw into third.
The ball was smoked.
Here's Trout with a ground ball. That will score a run. So it's an RBI for Mike.
That boy.
Hey, Joe, having Trout back in the lineup, we were talking a little bit about that on the pregame show yesterday and even today. How different is it for you guys to have Trouty back in the lineup where he allow you to be yourself swinging the bats?
It's awesome. I mean, I kind of alluded to it yesterday. Attaboy, Mac. I alluded to it yesterday, just the way it balances out the lineup, having somebody in there, future Hall of Famer, one of the best players of all time, in the middle of your lineup to kind of just take some pitches, level it out, make it difficult on those starters. I mean, Mike, not only is he a damage threat, but he's also working the count at every chance he gets. And so, having somebody in the middle of the lineup that can do that and really hold starters accountable, all pitchers accountable to come into the strike zone. And obviously, when runners are in scoring position, there's nobody that you'd rather have on base or up to bat.
You've been around Trout for a while now. What are some of the things that you've taken from him over the course of your career?
Yeah, I mean, Mike is he's a creature of habit. That's one thing about him that you know from playing with him, watching him work, watching him do what he does day in, day out. He is comfortable in doing the same thing every day, and it works. And even when things aren't going his way, he's still committed to his routine and his process. And that's a lesson that I think all of us can take. And Ohtani was the same way when he was here, just the process of wanting to do the same thing every day, be consistent in it, believing in it, and understanding who you are. And that's what the big leagues is about.
Joe, how difficult is it for you today to be sitting there in the dugout when you want to be swinging the bat? I know you want to be.
Do you see me? I'm like, I'm going side to side right now.
I know. That's why I'm saying
I'm like I can't stand on one spot. Yeah, it's. But you got to take those days. Kurt called me and was like, hey, we want to try to give you a day to get off your feet, get off the turf, and so. As much as I was coming off of last night wanting to get back out there, and every day wanting to get out there, it was a mutual decision there.
Count now 3 balls and a strike on Shotwell. I know you have a big Cooking for a Cause coming up, an event that you're putting together. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I partner with Uncorked for a Cause, and they've done such a great job just putting together these wine events. And really, you know, for those that don't know, my foundation, I started right out of high school and creating the Joe Adele Foundation. Really an all-inclusive friends, family, and kids foundation to help the inner city. Come on.
Angels Challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Attaboy. Basically, it's an all-inclusive foundation. I'm looking to help kids and families in any which way that I can. And you know, me being in Anaheim now for as long as I've been here, the goal is to raise some money through some auction items and find a way to really help these families in Anaheim and in Orange County, and find a way to really give back here. You know, back in my hometown in Louisville, I was able to do those things relatively easy. It was home for me, and now being an Angel for as long as I have, I want the opportunity to be able to do that. So really excited about that setup. Ronald McDonald is also a partner in that event, which is going to be really, really cool. I've got to, you know, do some charity work with them, so really excited about what that's going to bring, and it should be pretty cool. So excited.
Joe, what about your wine label? I got to know a little bit about that one, my friend.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I did it's kind of like a spin-off of 19 Crimes, so it's called the 3 Crimes from the 3 home run robbery game. It just made too much sense. We just had to go with it, and it's turned out pretty cool. So I'm excited.
Criminality against batters. I would say that's definitely what happened.
You saw the label right there. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Well, it's been a few months now since that historic night. 3 home run robberies in one game against the Seattle Mariners. Have you had time now that you're further away from it to really think about what you accomplished and what you did that night?
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about, and really, I've kind of said it before, but just kind of the experience from, you know, obviously I played the game, I did it, but then to look back at how, you know, people are talking about it's the best game that they've ever seen, and, you know, the best experience they've ever been a part of. You don't really get that view when you're the one out on the field, and so to see how it had an effect on sports lovers and fans of the game, and just how it was a 1-0 ball game, all those things, when you get to look back on it, it's pretty unreal. And yeah, I get to take a break away from it now, since it's been a little bit ago, because for the first week, everybody thought I was going to catch everything. It was like, you know, balls being hit 100 feet to my right. They're like, why didn't you catch that? I'm like, I don't have a cape. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you look like you did that night.
I know. Maybe I did that night. I don't know.
Joe, I got to bring it up. There was 2 more. I'm still saying they were home run robberies too. Why would they even think about taking that away from you there?
Yeah, I actually didn't know until I got into the clubhouse. Those plays are tough to judge. They really are. I mean, to be honest, like the one in Cleveland, I thought for sure my glove was over the wall. I thought that was one. The one at home a couple of days ago, I wasn't totally sure, but it was close too. Again, when I'm out there, you know, my response is just, I'm going to go try to make plays. You know, I know how it is to be on the mound. I was a pitcher before I was a hitter years ago, so I get it, you know, and I want to be a guy to go out and try to make plays in whichever way I can. So.
Yeah, Joe, literally everywhere we go, broadcasters, everything. How was that like that day? I can only imagine it for you everywhere you go.
Absolutely it is, for sure.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Soler. And now full count.
All right, Joe, be manager here. Would you be sending him here 3-2? We'll put some pressure on you now. 3-2, 1 out.
You know what? I'm going to let Soler take a hack right here.
Let him drive them all in.
Uh-oh.
Now Neto dancing around, but he didn't go. And Soler taps one over to Duran. Only played at first, and Soler out by just a half step.
So I thought he was going to get another one of those hanging breaking balls. He almost turned on one there in the first, huh?
What's it like facing Eovaldi?
It's a really elite level mix. He's definitely the splitter is definitely one you got to keep your eye out on. I mean, this guy's, I think with righties, he's like a 50% ground ball rate. So you're really trying to keep the ball up in the zone against him. And obviously with the curveball, there's really big speed change there. But got to stay on the hard stuff and stay up. A lot of outs on those splitters.
I mean, game 1, you face Jacob deGrom. What's that like that you face a guy that may indeed end up being a Hall of Famer?
Wow. I mean, to be honest with you, what's crazy is, it's still 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You're like, when is this guy going to run out of gas? But just the location. I mean, really good at locating, understanding that these guys are trying to go 7-8 innings. That's their goal every night. They're trying to spot and locate. Really elite level stuff. I mean, when you're sitting 97, 98, and you're on the corner, and you can spot there, you're gonna have success more times than not. But obviously, we got to go in and we do our job and understand that he's going to make mistakes. He's just like everybody else. There's going to be mistakes, and we're going to try to capitalize.
No balls, 2 strikes on Grissom as he stays alive. Does the All-Star break, do you feel like you get enough rest during that 3-4 day stretch?
It's kind of like one of those things where every other year sometimes it feels shorter than the year before. It just kind of depends on your schedule. I think with us going back into a homestand will kind of be good stuff, because last year I remember kind of getting ready for that road stint off of All-Star break, and I remember that kind of felt like the time was shortened a little bit in that break window. But being able to go back and know that we're playing at home after the break, I think is going to be good stuff. And honestly, for me, like most guys are like, hey, I wish it was a couple of days longer or whatnot. I mean, 3's about all I can do. I know my fiance, I'm going to be wearing her out in the next couple of days, antsy wanting to do things. So I'll be wanting to get back to the park.
All right, Joe, thanks a lot for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Thanks, guys.
5,000 fans in attendance. Friday, July 17th, will receive a throwback collared crew neck courtesy of Salinas Inc. Angels.com/promotions. That'll be a nice return to baseball after the All-Star break. We're all going to get worn out during the break, I think.
Yes.
Those breaks aren't what they're all cracked up to be. You come back tired, more tired than you are when you're working sometimes.
Well, at least they get a few more days off than they used to get off. It always started back up on that Thursday.
Yeah,
you had
Thursday.
a workout on that Wednesday, so you basically had 2 days off.
And if you played in the game, which you did a couple of times, you had no days off.
No.
There's a strike to Brandon Nimmo leading off here in the bottom of the 3rd. It was a 2-out swing from Nimmo in the 1st when he punched one out over the wall in left center field to give the Rangers a 1-0 lead, and they scored again after that to go up 2-0. Angels got one back in the top of the 3rd. RBI from Mike Trout. A couple of men left in scoring position, which kept Texas in front.
I'm sure Joe Adell's asking Torey, how do you prepare yourself just in case you're asked to pinch hit later on in the game? How do you stay focused there? They're over there talking once again, because there might be a spot here today for Joe Adell to come to the plate and do some damage to give the team a chance to win this game.
I think very likely there will be if it remains a close game. We could see Adell at some point in a big moment as Nimmo takes ball 3.
Anyway, Joe got a run for the club there. And Trout's baseball on the ground, that was 109 miles per hour, a rocket to short. It resulted in the run scoring. It's a little bit either way. It's a tie ball game.
There's Meckler coming home on Trout's ground out as Nimmo gets jammed and pops it up behind home plate, but it's out of play. Shonowell drew the walk. Angels still had a couple of men on with 1 out, but couldn't get any more against Eovaldi.
By the way, when Shonowell flipped that bat and then challenged right away with Bill Miller behind the plate, I'm glad that was off the plate. That would have got real interesting.
The funny thing is that Shonowell never went to pick the bat up once he challenged. He just left it on the ground. Nimmo smacks one through, a base hit. Leadoff man on for Texas here in the 3rd.
Another good swing by Nimmo versus a 4-seam fastball. Reed Devers just right down the heart of the plate, though. You see the reaction by even Logan O'Hoppe behind the plate. where they wanted that fastball.
Now Josh Young, who doubled his first time up. He scored on a base hit by Jake Berger, taking ball one. Young fouled a ball off his knee the other day, which resulted in him missing a few games, including the first 2 in this series. But a pretty good year for Young, hitting around 300. He's kind of swayed back and forth so far in his major league career. It's this ball sharply toward the left field corner, and that's a foul ball.
Well, coming into this game was 0 for 11, but 2 pretty good swings already today. That one just foul, though, on Reed Detmers.
Young had a really great year in 2023 in the World Series, Lear. Then didn't do much the last couple of seasons, but now his offense kind of back to where it was. So seems like it's more and more of a challenge year in and year out for players to stay consistent. See one guy have a great year and he's young and you think he's there, well, he's taken off now, and then the next year he's not quite doing that again, but then it comes back and forth, and it just seems like there's more of a pendulum for players now. Runner going, and Nimmo with a good jump, stealing second base as he gets in ahead of the throw.
4 stolen base, another stolen base attempt. Reed Detmers. Listen, man, try to get a quick tag in there. Going on first movement.
So now Young, with a man in scoring position, takes ball 2 from Detmers. Young actually went to the same high school in San Antonio, Douglas MacArthur High School, that John Gibbons went to, the Angels bench coach.
Talk about a walking baseball encyclopedia, John Gibbons. Even today I had a long conversation with him. He loves the game of baseball. Knows so much about the game of baseball.
So he grew up going to Astros games more than Rangers games, but a proud Texan, John Gibbons. 3 balls, 2 strikes, as Young strikes out on a fastball.
A couple of strikeouts on his fastball so far tonight. Take a look at his slider this season. Take a look at his StatCast read powered by Google Cloud. We talked about how many swing and misses and punch outs he's gotten this season. A lot of them well out of the strike zone. 56. Tied for 3rd most in Major League Baseball. Slider devastating, but so far tonight, not 1 swing and miss on a slider, surprisingly.
Only 2 strikeouts overall, including that last one. Swing and a miss on the fastball again from Berger. The balls and 1 strike on Jake Berger, who had an RBI in the first inning with 2 outs, driving in Josh Young.
So far, he's got 4 swing and misses, all on his fastball today.
One ball, 1 strike on Berger. Nimmo at second base. That ball blasted to left, but right at Meckler, who makes the catch. That ball was hit pretty hard, but that's 2 outs.
The old Adam ball you're screaming from the dugout.
112 off the bat of Berger there. That ball was tattooed.
Well, it's just an out.
So 2 outs, and now Duran will stand in.
That's one of those ones when you get back in the dugout and your guys saying, hey, good swing, good swing. He's looking back at you, go, it was an out. Doesn't matter how hard you hit, it's an out.
2 outs with Nimmo still in scoring position, and a curveball drops in for Duran, a strike. It's funny, Ketel Marte of the Diamondbacks has made a lot of hard hit outs this year, and he said Torey Lovullo kept kind of praising him for it, and finally just put his hand up and said, enough.
Yeah,
it's an out.
Yes.
I don't care how hard I hit it. I need hits. 1 ball, 1 strike on Duran. Berger couldn't hit a ball much harder than that, though. 112 miles an hour. Ultimately, the point is that the harder you hit the ball, the more likely it is to fall in. But that doesn't mean it's gonna.
Yeah. I mean, Trout, the same thing. 109. That was an out. That's 112. It's an out.
Duran, it's a fly ball to left center field. This is hit well. Trout racing back all the way near the wall. He leaps and it's gone. Trout gave it all he could up against the top of the wall, but he couldn't bring it back. Ezekiel Duran, it's a 2-run homer to give the Rangers a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, just when you get closer, Texas expands the lead. Boy, there's two guys in the lineup here today with some pretty good swings against Detmers. Duran came into the game 1 for 18. You can see 2-run home run there. It's another fastball right down the heart of the plate.
That's a great effort by Trout. We'll have to go back to that replay there to see how close he got. Pretty close.
Yep.
Didn't have time to go back all the way. Or he might have even been able to bring that one back, but that ball was hit so hard and so deep to left center field here that Trout was just getting to the wall right as that ball was about to clear it.
I mean, you could tell he thought he almost got himself in a position to rob that one.
That would have been an unbelievable catch. We still show you that one against J.J. Hardy all the time. That might have been right up there.
Coming into the game, we talked about how good Detmers pitched against Young and Duran. Combined 1 for 29. They both have extra base hits today.
Yeah, Young with a double, Duran now with a home run. And all 4 runs for Texas have scored with 2 outs. 2 in the first and now 2 here in the third.
Pitch count going up there now once again for Reed Detmers.
Similar to Urania last night. Urania only pitched 4 innings because of it. Swing and a miss, strike 3 to end the inning, but a 2-out 2-run homer extends the Texas lead. Angels baseball on ABTV, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. Get these robots out. I can't look at another robot.
Doma arigato, Mr. Roboto.
You know, someone used to have that job, and now this thing has it. Get it out of here.
How do you really feel about the robot?
This guy liked it.
Yes.
I would never order anything from that robot. Never. Josh Lowe.
At least not for another inning or so.
No, I'm standing up for mankind. I'm not gonna. I will never order anything from a robot. Not that I know of. I'm sure I do all the time. It's invaded our world. The ball's and a strike on Josh Lowe leading off the 4th inning. Evaldi has 6 strikeouts in the first 3 innings so far. Josh Lowe was one of them when he batted in the 2nd.
Base runners every inning so far.
I think it was Rocky 4 when the robots started to take over the whole universe.
Yes. Well, that's when Rocky had to take out Drago.
He did have to, yes. For the betterment of mankind.
Yes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Think about where we would have ended up as a country if Rocky didn't beat Ivan Drago.
You know what, Wayne? That might be your best comment of all time. I totally agree.
Evaldi agrees as well. He's a good Italian, Evaldi. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'll back Rocky Balboa in any fight.
Yes.
This thing has got, what, 50 arms?
He just said hi, Wayne.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Eovaldi continues to rack up the Ks. That's 7 already tonight.
Kind of one of the few four-seamers. It's still pretty firm. He runs it up there at 95. Tell you what, he's been a big game pitcher for a long time.
He was unbelievable in that postseason in 2023 for the Rangers, and he was very good for the Red Sox in the playoffs in 2018 as well. 23 postseason, going 5-0 and a 2.95 ERA. I think his record in potential postseason clinchers is 4-0, and his ERA is 1.03 in games where his team can clinch a postseason series. That is really remarkable.
Yeah, he's been real durable in the postseason. He's pitched out of the bullpen, a number of innings out of the bullpen.
Guzman, it's a soft ground ball. Duran plays it in, had a double pump, but he still gets the out.
A little bit of tough time on the transfer, but still a strong enough throwing arm. Guzman.
Eovaldi was the winning pitcher in the Rangers World Series clincher when they beat the Diamondbacks in Game 5. Went 6 scoreless innings to culminate his 5-0 postseason and helped the Rangers to their first ever championship. Had to feel here that year the way that it did in 2002, and the Angels finally got over the hump and won it all.
Yes. Remember, they had that stretch of back-to-back World Series. They weren't able to close it out. It looked like they were going to close a couple of those, or at least one of those out.
Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's kind of a deceptively long career for Eovaldi, because he really burst onto the scene once he got to the Red Sox and started to become more well known. But his first major league appearance was in 2011 as a Dodger. He became a regular in the Marlins rotation the year after that. Spent some time with the Yankees before ending up in Boston, actually with the Rays in between his time with the Yankees and the Red Sox. He's been around a long time now, 36 years old. And another strikeout. That's number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Well, that's the most exciting mascot they've got here. Take that, Captain.
Oh, wow. Look at our StatCast being powered by Google Cloud. The 6 hits allow 4 versus 4-seamer 2 to slider. You're talking heart of the plate. Reed Detmer's been so good this entire season, especially when you go back to that game against the Rangers where he punched out 14. That's 1 hit allowed. He was on the corners or off the corners all game long so far today, though. A number of those pitches in the zone have been all hit extremely hard.
Cam Cauley leads off here in the 4th inning. Detmer has allowed 4 runs on 6 hits. One of those hits by Cauley, who fouls 1 back. Well, Detmer's old rotation mate Patrick Sandoval making his first major league appearance since he was with the Angels in 2024. Made his Red Sox debut today at long last. Finally back from Tommy John surgery as Cauley misses the bunt.
Yeah, he popped a couple fastballs in there. I was watching a little of it, about 96, but he had a tough 5th inning where he was looking to put himself in position to pick up the W. Gave up a hit, then walked the batter on 4 pitches, and that was it for him.
Red Sox won anyway. They beat the White Sox 2-1, finishing a sweep in Chicago. Boston's won 6 in a row.
I know.
Now what are they going to do?
The American League, I'm telling you, you just go on any kind of a winning streak. You're not doing anything but try to add instead of subtract.
0-2 on Cauley and a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Detmers gets the slider by Cauley there and has his 4th strikeout.
The first swing and miss on his slider tonight, shockingly. Not quite exactly where you want to throw it either.
I'll take it. Only 2 pitchers in baseball with more strikeouts on sliders than Detmers. Chase Burns of the Reds and Chris Sale. Strike on the inside corner to Osuna.
I think you got to pitch Osuna inside like that. Remember, he's hit every baseball the other way. I mean, that ball he hit out was a changeup down in middle, but he's pretty good going the other way.
Good curveball to make it 0-2.
So that's 2 pitches on the inner half of the plate. Fastball and curveball.
The Red Sox now 2.5 games out of a playoff spot. So for a team that was about to trade Sonny Gray and Chapman and maybe Contreras, now what?
Same thing with the Tigers. They won again today.
They're only 4.5 games out of the division lead now in the AL Central, with the White Sox and Guardians tied. Minnesota's only 2 back. Detroit's 4.5 back.
That's the thing I've been scratching my head. The Minnesota Twins are only 2 back in the division. They've been playing pretty good baseball of late themselves.
0-2 on Osuna, and a wave and a miss on a ball that hurt, strike 3, and that's maybe the best slider we've seen from
that had
Detmers.
some great tilt to it. Perfect spot on that, especially after he established inside earlier in the at-bat. So that's the art of pitching. You have to show inside to get outs away. You can't just stay away because hitters look out over the plate and they can get the barrel to it.
Detmers trying to find a groove now. He has struck out 3 in a row since the Duran home run. Here's a fly to center field, deep off the bat of Foscue. Trout back for this one, and that's a home run. The Rangers have hit 3 home runs with 2 outs in an inning today.
That's a fastball down, out over the plate. Go back to what I just said, Wayne. Looking out over the plate. If you make a hitter uncomfortable in off the plate, you're not able to catch that pitch right there. I mean, that's a perfect spot. Yet he looked out over the plate and hit it out to center field. Why? Because he wasn't uncomfortable thinking something in off the plate.
Now that's a really good point. In a vacuum, that looks like he got beat with a good pitch. But in the whole of what he has worked on here tonight, he made himself susceptible to that happening.
Even the best of stuff, best of pitchers, if you don't pitch inside, you will get swings like that because you can't place a fastball any better than that.
Wyatt Langford fouls one back, 1 ball, 1 strike. And now 3 home runs with 2 outs. Really piling on the list of frustrations for Detmers tonight is that he's been 1 out away from having 3 of these innings end up with zeros. Instead, he's given up 5 runs in 3 2/3 tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike as Langford takes strike 2. And these are the outings. And again, we talked about it just yesterday with Mackenzie Gore. Both of these guys, they are too good to have games like this often.
And the only way that happens if hitters are looking out over the plate and comfortably doing so.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Detmers allowed 5 runs in his last start. I mean, it should be an anomaly when he gives up 5 runs, let alone have it happen in back-to-back starts. He's way too good to have outings like this.
This stuff is exceptional. It's elite stuff.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and Langford grounds 1 foul. Entering today, Detmers had only allowed 1 homer with 2 outs in an inning this season. And he's given up 3 in this one. Curveball wipes out Langford, but another 2-out homer as Foscue makes it 5-1 Texas. Beach Week is coming to the Big A. The first 25,000 fans Wednesday, July 29th against the Astros. Receive a City Connect beach towel courtesy of Tempe Tourism. Angels.com/promotions for more info.
Solid beach towel. Well, hey, you like the beach way.
Oh, love the beach. I have to take that towel right over.
Boy, Seattle lost again today. This division. The Athletics lost again today.
Well, the A's are in trouble. They're now 11 games under 500, and their pitching staff just can't hold anybody down. And the Mariners, I don't know. Maybe they need to get away from the Marlins, because Miami is one of the hottest teams in baseball. Beating Seattle 8-4 today, dropping the Mariners back to 500. The Marlins just can't lose right now. Bouncer to first as Meckler is the first out of the inning. One away. Zach Neto covering every base thanks to Mercedes-Benz. 20 homers, 10 steals before the All-Star break. Something that's been rarely done in Angels history. Big names that have done it. Neto can add his name to that list with one more homer before the end of play on Sunday.
It's also impressive 20 doubles already too.
Neto has a base hit. He has flied out today. Average starting to come back up for Neto. OPS starting to climb back toward that 800 mark. I've seen some people say that Colson Montgomery was an all-star snub, but Neto has more extra base hits. He has a higher average. He has a higher OPS.
41 extra base hits.
Montgomery has 39. Neto has more stolen bases than Colson Montgomery does. So if Montgomery is a snub, then Neto's an even bigger one. He has better numbers in almost every category. One ball, one strike, the count on Neto here. Fly to right. This one hit pretty well. Nemo's back for it out near the wall, and he has just enough room to haul it in. That's twice that Neto has just missed a homer tonight.
And two really good swings. Just missed another one out. Some serious distance with nothing to show for it on a couple of those long fly balls. There's a splitter too he hit. Well, when Erica talked to him earlier today about getting more pitches in the strike zone with Trout behind him, you're seeing that on display here tonight.
And that base hit in the third and the two long flyouts, including the one out toward the 410 sign in right center field on the first pitch of the game. This one more to straightaway right, and Nemo bringing that one down near the wall. So a couple of tough luck long flyouts for Neto. And now 2 out, nobody on for Trout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eovaldi's a tough cover in general, let alone pitching after a Rangers loss. He has 6 wins this year in 8 starts following a Texas loss. And he's a guy who goes and gets wins. We talked about that yesterday, and really the other day too with DeGrom pitching. That Eovaldi is one of the rare guys who will average 6-7 innings a start, and he'll get into the decision of a game by doing so. In 17 starts this year, he has 16 decisions. It's the most in the majors.
Throwback.
He's 9-7. He's looking for his 10th win tonight. But it's not by accident. He enters himself into the decisions, and he has 9 strikeouts now as he punches out Trout. Angels baseball on AB TV, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. And brought to you by Villa Ford of Orange. Step up to the plate and drive home a winner today at Villa Ford of Orange. And by StubHub, a proud partner of Angels baseball. One of the ushers here at Globe Life Field just put on a dancing performance for the ages.
Well, when she's been here for a while, she was at the old stadium, used to be right below the press area here. She's phenomenal. She's the best.
Did she dance as well at the old stadium as she does now?
Yes. That was exceptional.
That was exceptional. Brandon Nimmo takes ball 1 leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, Rangers have given their fans and ushers something to dance about tonight with 3 home runs off Reed Detmers, and now only 4 innings pitched. Detmers is out of the game. Silseth is in as Nimmo rifles one to Grissom at second base. 1 out.
Trying to be able to get him out tonight.
Yeah, first time. Nimmo hit a home run in the first and scored on the home run by Ezekiel Duran in the third.
The ball was hit hard too. I'll tell you what, this infield is exceptionally fast.
That's why it's a little longer than most.
Yes.
Gives the infielders a little extra time to react. It's a deeper infield here at Globe Life Field, although it seems like it's not as deep as it was. You still think it's the same? Second base used to seem like it was in the middle of the ocean.
Yes. Third base looks that way, but second base isn't like it used to be.
Yeah, it seems like they've. Yeah, third base still seems pretty far back because Guzman's really deep and he's not even close to the outfield grass. Line to right center. Trout has to back up and he makes the grab off the bat of Young. 2 outs here in the fifth. Well, we've seen the ball fly out here tonight. That's not typical of the games at Globe Life Field, which has become one of the hardest places to hit in all of baseball. Just out of nowhere, because in 2023 it was one of the best places to hit. And as far as park factors go, they're not sure why Globe Life Field suddenly is a tough place to hit.
Well, that ball that Nimmo hit got out. I was shocked at that one. So the baseball seems to be carrying a little bit better here in this series for sure.
It's been over the last 5-6 weeks been a better hitter's park, but still the overall numbers lean toward the pitchers this year. They said they've kind of figured out that the elements outside do affect the indoor play. I don't know what they've done to modify any of that, but it has been different over the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Tell you what, they've hit a lot of baseballs hard today. They've had, it feels like, at least 10 baseballs well over 100 miles per hour exit velocity, including 2 outs in this inning for 106.
Been 2-out magic for the Rangers tonight. And here's Berger with a fly ball to right center field. That sends Trout back. He's out near the wall, but he has this one to end the inning.
MLB draft. The Los Angeles Angels select Nolan Scherzer.
Major League Baseball's draft will take place on Saturday as Nolan Scherzer. It's a long fly ball to left. Osuna going back. It's over his head as it one hops over the wall. Automatic double for the former first-round pick Nolan Scherzer, who's been on base 3 times tonight.
Scherzer got a single and a double already and a walk. That's a good swing going to left field. 4-seam fastball, 95. That's that swing. Don't try to pull it, go the other way. Sharp shot. That baseball has been carrying real well all night here.
So the Angels trying to fight back against Eovaldi, who has 9 strikeouts for a 4th straight start. Just the 3rd Ranger to ever do that, joining Yu Darvish and Nolan Ryan. He has not had 10 in a game yet this season. He's had exactly 9 now in 4 consecutive outings. It's still only 75 pitches for Eovaldi, so beyond the duration of this inning, you'd figure, and a swing and a miss by Soler makes it 0-2.
2 strikes to shorten up just a bit here. Strong enough to make good contact. Scratch and claw to get back in this game down by 4.
Eovaldi's career high in strikeouts is 12. He did that against the A's a few years ago. And there's number 10. So Eovaldi has reached double digits for the first time this year.
Another punch out on a splitter.
One out, and now Grissom is the batter. One ball, one strike on Grissom. A lot of swings and misses for Eovaldi tonight.
With it's that arm angle he throws. When he throws his fastball, which he doesn't do a lot of, it just stays true. And because of that arm angle, he drops that splitter. You get a lot more swings out of the zone against it. It's not a straight over the top delivery. The way he delivers the baseball out of its hand, it just stays true on that same plane into the zone. And then the splitter's out of the zone. Pretty impressive as far as chase percentage. He knew he got away with that one there. His reaction tells you that. Now you got to believe a splitter. That was right down the heart of the plate. Grissom had a good swing at it.
Eovaldi's had 19 swings and misses overall tonight. He has had 10 strikeouts. 9 of them have been swinging. Grissom gets just a piece to stay alive. This one popped up. Shallow right center as Cawley comes in. 2 outs, and we will take a ride with Kia.
That was interesting right there by Vaughn Grissom. He had 3 pitches in a row with 2 strikes on him that were hittable pitches, and he sees frustrated going back because that curveball was in the middle plate down. He had a splitter middle down. He had a fastball hard of the plate. So Eovaldi made mistakes on 3 consecutive, and he just missed that one. So he's frustrated because he had a pitch, especially with 2 strikes against a great closer with 2 strikes.
He had to evade the broken bat there, and he was able to get to first to get the out on low and end the inning. John Hancock of Torrey Hunter, and compared to Kirby Puckett and Harmon Killebrew, some of the more readable autographed baseballs in Major League history.
Yeah, and Torrey had said that he learned that from Kirby Puckett, and he said he learned that from Harmon Killebrew, how perfect their signatures are. And Harmon's theory was, if somebody asks for my autograph, I want them to be able to read my name. And so he passed that on through the years with the Twins. And Torrey Hunter, I'll tell you what, he's got a great autograph.
Ezekiel Duran leads off here in the bottom of the 6th against Brent Suter. And for more on that, let's go down to Erica.
It's a pretty cool story that Torrey was recounting to me earlier today from Harmon Killebrew. Basically, the story is the fans, they deserve more than just a scribble on a baseball. Contextually, he was saying, think about kids playing baseball in the field or in the woods. Years from now, they hit a ball all the way into the woods. They try to find it. They see a signature. They can't read it. They say, okay, we found a baseball that we can play with. Now rewind that. The kids hit a ball in the woods. They pick it up, very clearly can read Torrey Hunter on it. They look at the highlights. They see that you are a superstar in the game. And Killebrew was telling Torrey this when he was a rookie. So he was already basically telling him, yeah, you're going to be okay in this game. But it's the difference between them playing with the baseball and putting it on the mantle because they can read it and it's clear. So yes, it was Torrey, Michael Kadire, Kirby Puckett. He said all of us had a little bit of Harmon Killebrew, but he was the one that wanted all of us to have the signatures be legible so the fans can enjoy it on the baseball.
Sounds like Harmon wrote The Sandlot.
Yes,
Baby
yes,
Ruth.
Yes. I'll tell you what, he was an incredible person. I mean, he was one of the strongest guys you ever see, Harmon Killebrew, but to be able to pass that on to the guys with the Twins and eventually over to Torrey Hunter, it's so important because when you make that smile on the fan's face and they look at that autograph and they can read the name and remember that from years to come.
Duran looks at strike 3 as Suter strikes out the first batter that he faces here in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Kyle Higashioka.
Well, sometimes you thought of Harmon Killebrew being about 6'8".
There's a base hit for Higashioka past the diving Neto.
He wasn't that tall, but I'll tell you what, you talk about forearms, the size of our thighs, he was that strong.
And kind of stout Harmon Killebrew.
Same thing with Kirby Puckett.
Yeah, he certainly was.
Yes.
Kirby was only about 5'8". Killebrew was bigger than that. Harmon hit 573 home runs. He led the American League 6 times in several 40-homer seasons.
By the way, I got one of those fantastic autographs from Harmon Killebrew.
Did you give him one back?
He goes, what is that name?
Cam Cauley at the plate and a throw to first on Higashioka.
Played with the Royals towards the end of his career.
Yeah, his very last season with the Royals. That was his only one outside of the Twins organization, although he moved with them as they were the original Washington Senators before becoming the Minnesota Twins, and then the new Senators popped up and they eventually became the Texas Rangers.
We had so many battles over the years with Kirby Puckett, and we became friends over years and years, and a couple All-Star games, but he was so much fun to compete against. One of my all-time faves. He was incredible.
2 balls and 1 strike as Cauley chops one to short. Neto flips to second for 1. Grissom slings it to first, too late. Cauley uses his speed to keep out of a double play. 2 outs. 13 strikeouts against Kirby Puckett in your career. That's a lot.
I remember because every time I would strike him out with a slider, he goes, I'm going to get one of those sliders. I'm going to get one of those sliders. I said, keep swinging in the dirt. So one time we were up pretty big in a game, and I said, you know what, I'm going to throw him a changeup. Wasn't a good decision. He hit a home run. He left. He said, you should have thrown me a slider. I said, you'll never get a changeup again.
The ball's at a strike on Osuna. You know which? You only faced one hitter more than Kirby Puckett. Do you know which one?
Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
Yeah. That's not fair. These are all Hall of Famers. That's not right.
Well, Mattingly was third.
And Cal Ripken's right in there too, I think.
He's fourth, and then Ricky was fifth.
Yeah, no problem.
Runner going and a foul. You had your top 10 also includes Joe Carter and Lou Whitaker.
Is Dave Winfield in there just for fun too? Might as well put him in there. Boy, Joe Carter could keep a sinker fair better than anybody ever seen. Everybody with that sinker in would pull it foul or off their foot. He would keep it fair.
The ball's 2 strikes, and Osuna gets hit by a pitch. Why do you think that he was able to do that?
Well, he was able to drop the barrel in. He didn't open up the front hip. He just dropped the barrel down and kept it fair. Just straight down the line.
Kept that one fair against Mitch Williams.
I know. Yes, I remember that one too. You'll never hit a bigger home run than that, Joe.
Touch them all, and Joe Carter did after that World Series walk-off home run against Mitch Williams and the Phillies in that very good 1993 World Series. Strike to Justin Foscue. Seemed like it was set up last year for a Blue Jay to mimic Joe Carter with a chance to walk off in either Game 6 or Game 7 to clinch the World Series against the Dodgers. And not only did they not hit the walk-off home run, they never walked it off, period.
Yeah, when you have bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 9th, you feel pretty good about your chances of winning a World Series.
1 ball, 1 strike. Just think about the Rangers being the team that got the closest to winning a World Series without doing so, and they were 1 out away twice in that Game 6 in 2011. Now, what about the Blue Jays being 1 hit or 1 run away a couple of different points in that Game 7 last year? I mean, that's equally as agonizing of a World Series defeat as what the Rangers went through 15 years ago.
and knowing how hard it is to get back to a World Series. You're seeing the Blue Jays struggling a little bit now this season. Under 500, 5 games under 500 coming in today.
Well, it took the Rangers 12 years after that 2011 collapse to get back and finally win it. The Red Sox 18 years after they blew it in '86, needing one more out against the Mets. They'll actually play the Mets this weekend. Well, they didn't win it until 2004, and well, the Blue Jays got so close last year, but as we see this year, they're guaranteed nothing. It's a shot toward the right field line. It's falling, and it's fair. Bounced up out of play. As one run is in, Cawley scores, but Osuna will have to go to third. As that ball ends up being an automatic double, so just 2 bases for each man.
More good contact with 2 outs.
RBI for Foscue, his second. He homered off Detmers in the 4th inning, and now it's a run-scoring double.
He's made his presence felt here in this series in a limited role. He's playing a couple games. Coming off the bench, game 1.
It's 6-1. As Langford looks at a strike. Rangers with a win tonight would slip back up into first place in the American League West ahead of Seattle. The Mariners losing again tonight to the Marlins. Texas would take over that top spot, just a game above 500. In the AL Central, you have 2 teams that are 2 games over 500 in the White Sox and Cleveland. And ultimately, between the Central and the West, one of those teams is going to get a first-round bye in the playoffs.
The Astros come into town here to take on the Rangers. I tell you, it is so wide open.
It's going to be a seller's market at the trade deadline. The teams that are further back in the playoff race really don't have their eye on getting back up there. They're going to have a lot of opportunities.
It's going to challenge that, though.
The Browns crew are running on the field.
I think they can do their work.
Langford challenged, but he's out.
Nathan Eovaldi so far has got a ton of swing and miss. Take a look at our StatCast 3 powered by Google Cloud. 21 of them. 10 with his splitter, 7 with his curveball, 4 with his 4-seam fastball. 21 swing and misses. Part of his 10 punch outs tonight. And still pretty efficient pitch count at 85.
We talked about Eovaldi routinely pitching 6 or 7 innings in a game, putting himself in line for whatever happens, wins or losses. He'll try to get his 10th win here tonight, working on a 5-run lead here. Eovaldi would have 5 straight starts with a victory since he was beaten by the Royals on June 9th.
19 first pitch of 25 batters in his face. Coming in the game, he's about just a little bit under 65% first pitch strike. He will attack the strike zone. He's given up some home runs because of that, but he's going to be out, get ahead, and then once he's ahead, it's difficult to have any chance. That's why you want to be aggressive on the first pitch against him.
We have a catcher's interference call here. So Denzer Guzman heads to first base. And what will be an error against the catcher Higashioka.
There's still about almost 97 miles an hour on his fastball.
So Guzman is aboard. Logan O'Hoppe at the plate against Eovaldi with the bullpen up for Texas. As O'Hoppe looks at a strike. Take a look at Guzman reaching base.
See, hitting right on that catcher's mitt. It's a little bit, you talk about letting a baseball travel, that's about as far as you can let it travel.
Smack the glove and get on base.
See, that was that first pitch splitter he'll throw for a strike. And now he starts expanding the strike zone with that curveball.
Hoppe has struck out twice against him, and OPS below 600 again for Hoppe after he had a recent stretch of some success. He's just 1 for 11 so far in this series. Angels will head to Minnesota after the game today. Grayson Rodriguez is already there. Angels flew him early, seemingly with the intention of starting him and activating him from the injured list tomorrow. He would face Zebby Matthews, the right-hander for Minnesota, the only night game of the series tomorrow. Day game Saturday and Sunday. Would expect Ryan Johnson Saturday against Joe Ryan. And Jose Soriano Sunday against Taj Bradley.
Matthews gives up some home runs himself. He's given up 13 home runs this season, just 61 innings pitched, and he's susceptible to stolen bases too.
Ryan and Bradley have both pitched pretty well this year. A lot of strikeouts for Bradley. As Hoppe ends up drawing a walk, was behind rather 0-2 and ends up getting on base himself. So the Angels with a couple of base runners to start the inning. Looks like Skip Schumacher is thinking about the bullpen right now. This is the pitching coach for the Rangers heading out to the mound, Jordan Teague. So Rangers will have a discussion, get the bullpen loosened up, and we'll take a ride with Hyundai.
Enjoy your new car.
Thanks. Gotta run. Okay, bye.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Meckler 333 with runners in scoring position this season.
The base hit and a run scored in the third inning. Angels trying to make their move here in the seventh. 2 on, nobody out. Eovaldi nearing the end of his rope. Drops in a strike on a curve to Meckler.
Another first pitch strike on a variation of different pitches he'll throw. He always is around the strike zone on the first pitch, and it's generally going to be in the lower part of the strike zone.
Going too far down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And this game has given up 19 home runs, but nothing so far tonight.
He's thrown about 75% splitters and curves in this game. And there's another curveball. See the usage there.
That is unbelievable when you think about it. 19% fastballs thrown.
It's kind of an exaggerated version of what we've seen all year from Eovaldi. He has relied heavily on the splitter and the curve. Those are the 2 pitches he uses the most. And he's taken that even further tonight. He's had 22 swings and misses, 18 of them on splitters or curves. Here's a liner to right center and a base hit for Meckler. Heading home is Guzman as the throw goes in towards second. Meckler drives in a run, and the Angels get a bit closer at 6-2.
And another base hit with a runner in scoring position for Meckler. 2 hits in the game. That splitter, middle of the plate, just enough of the zone to make good contact on it. Stay down on that extremely well. Good swing for Meckler. The Mac is back.
So catcher's interference, a walk, and now a base hit plating a run. Gets Eovaldi out of the game. The Angels trying to make their move here in the 7th. Top of the order due out. For a limited time, you can save 20% on Angels TV seasonal pass and stream Angels baseball in market all summer long. Watch games at home or on the go, live or on demand, subject to national exclusivities. Visit angels.tv for details and take advantage of this limited time offer. It's a 6-2 lead for Texas, but the Angels trying to fight back. They've scored a run in this inning, and they have runners on first and second with nobody out, as Zach Neto welcomes the new pitcher, Peyton Gray. Gray, a 31-year-old rookie. We saw him the other night. Worked to score this inning, struck out a couple, and picked up the win in the opening game of this series. Right now, he's trying to hold a 4-run lead, but a couple of men on base, and the big hitters in the Angels lineup are coming up.
A lot of breakables he'll throw.
He's behind here. 2 balls, no strikes against Neto. Has flied out to the wall a couple of times tonight, and also has a base hit.
Here comes what Erica talked about with Neto before the game about getting some strikes. This should be that time. He's going to get a pitch probably in the heart of the zone with who's waiting on deck, who would represent the tying run if Neto gets on base here.
That's upstairs for ball 3. So if Trout does get a chance behind Neto, possibly it would come with the bases loaded. If Neto can get on here, it's 3-0.
A lot of times I say green light with Neto. This is the time I say no. Just take one, because you're going to get the same exact pitch. 3-1.
He takes ball 4, so Gray misses on all 4 to Neto, and Trout will bat with the bases loaded and nobody out. Kia player profile on Mike Trout, now a 12-time All-Star. As he barrels up the ball as well as anyone. Only a few batters around the league have done it more often. See if Trout can barrel one here and tie it up. He tried. Fouled it back.
He had one too. This pitch was right in the middle of the plate. 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
No balls and a strike on Trout. That's off the plate from Gray. Walked Neto on 4 pitches, the first batter that he faced. The Angels have loaded him up here in the 7th. First man reached on a catcher's interference. Guzman ended up scoring. Now Trout takes ball 2. We'll see if this turns around.
It's going to be real close. Real close. This might barely touch it.
It's one of the good challenges here from Higashioka, and he does get the strike. Right on that inside edge, so it goes to 1-2 on Trout.
Between a changeup and a slider, this could be that spot.
Fastball got in on Trout. He fouled it back.
Went back in on him.
380 in his career with the bases loaded. 6 grand slams. And that first pitch again was right down the middle. Trout only could foul it off. Count is 1-2.
He get a little closer to the Reggie Jackson all-time home run mark against the Rangers.
Two balls, 2 strikes here in Arlington. Trout is just 1 home run behind Reggie Jackson for the 2nd most home runs by an opponent in Arlington, Texas. Jose Canseco is first on that list. Trout's hit 22 home runs in Arlington. Reggie hit 23 and Canseco 25. Once the Rangers made their way here to Texas.
In 3 different ballparks here in Arlington.
Reggie probably just did the one. Actually, he probably
2.
Probably 2. 2-2. Canseco definitely 2. Trout taps one to first. Berger throws it home, and they get the out at the plate. That might have been the only play Berger really had.
That was a smart play.
He was well off the bag. Gray never went to cover, and I don't think Berger would have beaten Trout to first, so he fired it to the plate, and he gets the out on O'Hoppe.
Yoka played as if he was a first baseman there.
I don't think Berger gets to first if he tried that. So he was heads up there, getting the out at home on O'Hoppe, with Higashioka holding his foot on the plate. So big first out for the Rangers. And now Shonowell, who's been on base 3 times, tries to get the Angels going again.
We had a pitch to drive there. Change up upstairs. It's Gray's most effective pitch, but that was upstairs, middle of the zone.
Angels have let Gray off the hook here a couple of times.
Probably comes right back with another changeup.
Bases still loaded, 1 out. And it's 1-2 now on Shonowell, who doubled his last time. Soler is on deck.
Well, he really got at that changeup there.
Angels need a big swing to either get closer or come all the way back. There's a liner right center field. That'll get it done for Shonowell. A base hit scores Meckler. It scores Neto. Trout goes to third, and the Angels cut it to 6-4.
Shonowell again. Great swing there. What a game for Shonowell so far tonight. And it was another changeup. Stayed upstairs. Short. Quick. Line drive. Driving in 2.
Shonowell on base 4 times tonight. He has 3 hits and now 2 runs batted in. He's the tying run at first. Trout in front of him at third, and it's Jorge Soler against Gray. But the Rangers lead trimmed from 6-1 to 6-4. Soler was trying to turn the score around and swung through that fastball.
But that's his zone right there, the inner half. You go back with Shonowell, when you go back to the pitch sequence, remember we talked about that changeup, he just missed it. And then here it is again, the changeup that he rocketed in there. A lot of the plate. Line drive, drives in 2.
1 ball, 1 strike now on Soler. He reaches out and loops it to left center for a base hit. Trout comes home. Shonowell to third with the tying run. Soler makes it a 1-run game. It's 4 home in the inning, and it's 6-5.
Tell you what, that was really good base running too by Shonowell. Was able to go to first to third on that one. Wasn't hit hard. He saw it was going to be down, and right away from first base, he was determined to get to third. And it was a changeup again. And just made contact with. That was just real good base running by Shonowell.
The rookie Peyton Gray has been reliable out of the Rangers bullpen, but not tonight. The Angels have gotten to him for 2 hits and a walk. This has turned into a 4-run inning with some of those runs off of Eovaldi. He is charged for 4. 3 earned in his 6+ innings. Now a run on Gray's ledger as well. First run that Gray's given up in a few weeks. Go back to June 13th, last time he was scored on. Now Vaughn Grissom with Shonowell at third, representing the tying run. Soler, the runner at first, the go-ahead run. Wonder if you think about Joe Adell being on the bench tonight, that you take a chance with a pinch runner for Soler, knowing that you could still implement a big bat again later with Adell. And Jose Siri on the bench who could do that. Grissom had a good cut, 1 ball 1 strike, or even Peraza.
Peraza's a great base runner himself. You're right. Tell you what, there's been some pitches in the middle of the plate for the Halos, and they've so far been pretty good with those in this inning.
The Rangers' 6-1 lead has turned to a 6-5 advantage with the tying run just 90 feet away. Grissom again with a good cut. 1 ball 2 strikes.
Remember that last at bat, he had like 3 pitches in a row against Eovaldi with 2 strikes that he had to drive, and he's had back-to-back good ones to drive there too. He's got 1 hit in this game. Let's take that sac fly right now. Got room on that right side of the infield. He's got good power to right center too. There's a lot of those changeups. There's another changeup in the heart of the plate.
Count remains here 0-2. Gray has already thrown 22 pitches. He's only gotten 1 out. Catcher's interference was the rally starter. Angels have 3 hits in the inning and 4 runs. And Grissom can't make any contact. Strikes out, keeping Shotwell at third.
You wonder if you go to the bullpen lefty, but if you do that, that's when you have Joe Adell available.
Definitely the Angels would go to Adell, you'd think, if they want to go to the lefty here. We'll see. Skip Schumacher is going to make a change. There's a lefty and a righty up, so I'm not sure which one's coming in, but we'll find out. It's turned into a close game here in Arlington. This is one of those situations where the manager makes a change with the knowledge that it might bring an even better hitter or even a hotter hitter to the plate. As Tyler Alexander, the lefty, comes in, Joe Adell comes to the plate after his big night yesterday.
And that is a lefty on the mound. Went yard the other way. Another lefty right there, left-handed throwing. Lefty on the mound now. 370 hitter, 6 home runs on the first pitch put in play.
He's 2 for 5 in his career against the new pitcher Tyler Alexander. Adell bats for Lowe in this 1-run game in the 7th. On the first pitch, it's upstairs for ball 1.
First pitch cutter.
And Skip Schumacher could have kept Gray in, the righty, to face the left-handed batting Lowe. He wanted the fresh arm. Gray didn't have very good stuff tonight, so he takes a chance knowing Adell would come in. And Alexander gets a swing and a miss upstairs. 1 ball 1 strike. Joe Adell not in the original starting lineup. The Angels had a big bat to deploy for a tight moment late in the game, and here it is. 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, a 1-run game. And that's ball 2 to Adell.
So 2 out of 3 pitches are cutter so far. Cutter, fastball, cutter.
Seen the Rangers hit a couple of pinch hit homers in this series. Now the Angels have a turn. And Adell lines a base hit. He ties the game. Shotwell scores. It's a 5-run inning, and Joe Adell comes off the bench to deliver.
How about that rocket, 105? Remember he was talking about when he's, with Torrey Hunter there saying, hey, I just got to be ready just in case. Well, he was ready, and he tied it up. Change up. Down in the zone, lined into left field. What a swing for Joe. Boy, he has been on fire when you think about the last 4 games. That's 8 hits in the last 4 games.
8 for 13 with 8 RBIs.
I think that's pretty good.
He had 5 knocked in yesterday. He comes off the bench and has a game-tying pinch hit RBI single off the lefty Alexander. Now it's Guzman who started this inning by reaching on catcher's interference. And who knew at that time that Guzman swatting at the catcher's mitt of Higashioka would be a game-changing moment, sparking a 5-run rally to tie this game, and still a chance to take the lead.
Ooh, another pitch to drive there too. Boy, there's a lot of pitches by Rangers pitchers and hard to the plate or missing spots.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The Rangers have let a 6-1 lead disappear. It's only the second no decision for Nathan Eovaldi in 18 starts this year. As Guzman strikes out, the Angels tie it up. A 5-run 7th. Wade Meckler driving in a run. Nolan Shotwell knocked in 2. Soler and Adele even it up 6-6. Angels 6, Rangers 6. It was 6-1 Texas entering the 7th. The Angels put up a 5 spot. Joe Adele came off the bench with a game-tying pinch hit single, and now he stays in to play right field.
Good job by Joe coming off the bench like that. It's not an easy thing to do.
Well, we kept him ready, kept him loose when we talked to him back in the 3rd inning.
Yes, we did. We'll take all that credit.
Definitely. Now the Angels bullpen will try to keep it locked up, and Zephyr John has been the Angels' best reliever of late. He's worked on 14 consecutive scoreless innings over his last 13 games. He has 26 strikeouts and only 2 hits allowed in that time.
Yeah, and a lot of it goes around and revolves around his ability to throw his fastball for strikes early and then expand in the strike zone.
And what an eye-opening month it's been for Zephyr John, and this pitch mix that he has implemented. I mean, he's been dominating. Enters this game tied up 6-6. Brandon Nimmo leading off. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, this is an old school Angels and Rangers game. Back at that other stadium.
The high scoring affairs that have happened over the years between these two teams. Angels have done well over the years against the Rangers. It's the team they've beaten the most in the history of their franchise.
A little bit off the corner. Pretty decent at bat for Nimmo so far, fighting his way back now to a full count.
He barely got a piece of that to stay alive. Keeps the count full, 3-2.
Off the mask again.
Little tapper. Zephyr John goes to cover first. Flip from Shotwell for the out.
Nice play all the way around. Good feed and way to be there for Zephyr John.
Score big on authentic gear. MLBshop.com. Official jerseys and memorabilia, hats and hoodies. We've got the season covered. MLBshop.com/Angels, the official source for your Angels gear. Josh Young leads off here in the bottom of this, rather bats with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. He had a double and a run scored in the first. Forget all the Rangers runs tonight have scored with 2 outs, all 6 of them. Good fastball there right on the corner.
Good ride to it.
1 ball, 1 strike on Young, who has had a nice season, hasn't appeared yet in this series until today.
Tied him up with a sinker in there. Between a sinker and 4-seam fastball. Now you get a chase with a breaking ball.
Just a bit outside.
That would have been a serious chase.
Young hitting .298. That's actually third best in the American League. Only two guys in the American League hitting above .300 that have qualified for the batting title at this point. Yandy Diaz and Yordan Alvarez.
Alvarez coming into town tomorrow.
Young, it's a fly ball left center. It's shallow. Trout and Meckler are there. Trout takes over and makes the catch. 2 outs.
Mike Trout says, Meckler, you remember you had all my posters in your bedroom there. Just move out of the way. Let me make this play.
Well, Meckler might be the Mech, but Trout's the guy who's always been compared to the Mick.
Yes. So true.
2 outs as Berger bats, and now this is where the Angels have to fight through the end of the inning because Texas has done all their damage tonight with 2 outs.
Another first pitch fastball strike.
Berger had an RBI single in the first, scoring Young. An absolute rocket in the third that was caught off the bat, 112 miles an hour. It's flied out tonight as well. You can see this Ranger lineup looks a lot different with Langford and Young in there, and of course it would be even more so with Seager, who's still out. Puts Berger in a less impactful spot in the lineup, but a guy can still hurt you with the long ball hitting in the middle, toward the middle late part of the order,
yep.
5 or 6.
I mean, you get Seager back in here with their starting staff, and for the most part their bullpens, because they're a threat in the division for sure.
They could be in first place tonight if they win this game. The Angels aren't making it easy, battling back from 6-1 to tie it up. And now Berger strikes out.
99, Agent 99.
Are you ready, kids? Bikini Bottom is coming to the Big A during SpongeBob Night at Angel Stadium Friday, July 31st. First 25,000 fans in attendance get this unique SpongeBob Angels jersey. Angels.com/promotions.
Are you ready?
Think SpongeBob's going yard there off Patrick?
Oh yes. Look at that. Look at that look he's got going.
That's intense. If the Angels can do that to Jacob Latz as Ohapi swings through the first pitch. Latz getting the bona fide closer's treatment now as he has become an all-star closer seemingly out of nowhere.
Was he battling for the starting rotation at the beginning of the season?
He was in spring training. He was the 6th option as a starter. As he didn't make the rotation, Kumar Rocker actually got the last rotation spot over Latz. So the Rangers turned him into a multi-inning reliever. And he was doing so well at that, they've turned him into a sort of multi-inning closer, which is why he's pitching here in the 8th inning with every intention to go at least 2 innings tonight.
A bunch of different roles even out of the bullpen before settling in his closer role.
And he is the Rangers' only all-star. So Jacob Latz will represent the Texas Rangers on Tuesday night.
No, but nothing but elevated fastball so far against Ohapi.
It's the outside corner with that changeup. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Usually when Ohapi is swinging well, he's pretty good on elevated fastballs in the strike zone.
Stayed alive on that high heater.
He's got to bring that down just a bit. It's a tough one up there.
Latz has only allowed 17 hits. He has more saves than hits allowed so far this year. A 1.71 ERA. That's right in there. Strike 3. Another fastball. Ohapi with a half offer at it.
.95-mile-an-hour fastball. That's usually his zone too.
Latz has pitched multiple innings in a game 8 times this year. He's had saves 5 times with 2 innings pitched, and he'll go at least 2 innings here. He hasn't pitched in a while. This is his first appearance in the month of July. So his arm is fresh, and the Rangers are going to give him a couple of innings here as the Angels go to their bench, and Jose Siri bats in place of Meckler.
I mean, sometimes we have that long a period of time, and especially on the roll he's been on, you feel overly strong and you end up making some mistakes over the plate. It might have better velocity, but you don't have quite the control and command.
See if that comes into play here for Latz.
Siri likes it dramatic. We know that. First pitch changeup.
Latz has recorded a save in 13 of his last 14 appearances. He won't have a chance at a save here, but he could get a win. He holds the Angels down. 2-inning ask from Skip Schumacher. The top of the order coming up after Siri. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
First time he's throwing a curveball, just had the feel for it. Throwing a couple changeups so far, mostly fastballs.
Siri fouls off a changeup, and it's still 2-2.
No idea how he's able to foul that changeup off. We had a pitch there too.
Jacob Latz was the American League reliever of the month in June. And 11 saves in the month of June alone, tying a franchise record. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes on Siri. Latz has been really tough on right-handers, tough on everybody, but righties began the year 0 for 36 against him.
High fastballs, changeups down and away.
Overall, right-handers just 8 for 84. And now 8 for 86, including the 2 strikeouts in this inning.
He turned that changeup over really well. Pretty high spin rate for his changeup too. Over 2,000 RPMs. Sam Bachman getting ready.
Zephyr-John worked a 1-2-3 7th. Looks like Bachman will get the 8th inning.
Zephyr-John been on a roll.
Been unreal. Neto skies this one. He's got it up to the top of the roof. Duran makes the catch. Quick inning for Latz. 1-2-3. Angels games all season long on ABTV, presented by Pechanga Resort Casino. 3 in Minnesota this weekend before the All-Star break. Home Run Derby Monday night in Philadelphia. Bryce Harper says he's in. All-Star game Tuesday. Mike Trout will be part of the starting outfield at Citizens Bank Park for the American League. Ezekiel Duran leads off here in the bottom of the 8th inning with the score tied at 6, and Sam Bachman trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, that's a much better slider. Had a couple tough sliders his last time out. First game of this series. That's a good one there. And that's a good target set by O'Hoppe. Now 0-2. This is where if you go back to that slider, you want to set that target on the corner or just off the corner. It's exactly where he set it up there.
Bachman in place of Zephyr John, who worked another scoreless inning. 1-2-3 as Duran chops one to short. Zach Neto with a quick throw gets him at first.
And you notice on this one right here, an 0-2 slider where O'Hoppe is set up, and that weak ground ball hit by Duran. Look where he's set up. This is exactly the target you want to get. It's off the plate. It's a weak ground ball for an out. Good job there by both of them.
Rangers will go to their bench. They've had success doing so in this series. They've hit pinch hit homers in back-to-back games. And Jock Peterson, who's been one of their home run leaders this year, will be in place of Higashioka with 1 out and nobody on. Mike Maddox comes out for a scouting report on Peterson to Bachman. Zephyr John now with his scoreless inning tonight, 15 in a row. 2 hits allowed and 27 strikeouts.
That is unreal, that roll.
Playing a little Bonnie Tyler in the ballpark tonight. As we heard the news today that Bonnie Tyler passed away.
What a great voice she had.
She just wants you to turn around.
Yes.
First pitch fastball, a strike to Peterson. 14 home runs for Peterson this year. He's hit leadoff a lot lately. It's the top of this ball right up the first base side. Bachman fields it and has the out right in front of him, but flipped it anyway. 2 up, 2 down. Just stuck to the traditional way of doing it.
It's always my dream on that ground ball there. You get a chance to play a tag.
I think in the way you dream about it, it's probably more of a tackle than a tag.
Just in case. Like I said, Kirk Gibson said, I always just try to run up and just tear up your Achilles covering first base. So you got to be the one that puts that contact on first.
Yeah, a little bit of different mindset back in those days, I'd say.
Just slightly.
It was a survivalist mode back then. Evan Carter can't touch that high fastball from Bachman. Carter batting for Cawley. Will stay in the game to play center field as the Rangers utilize some of their left-handed bench options late in this tie game. Another high heater by Carter at 100.
Some good cheese.
No balls, 2 strikes on Carter. That's in there, strike 3.
Paints that inside corner. Sergeant Carter down.
Zephyr John and Bachman back-to-back perfect innings. They keep it tied at 6, and Mike Trout due up in the top of the 9th. The battle here tonight, the Angels were down 6-1. Had a tough time with Nathan Eovaldi, who struck out 10, but things started to change in the 7th. And the Angels put up a 5 spot to tie it up. Angel relievers in the 7th and 8th innings working back-to-back 1-2-3 frames. Zephyr John and Bachman, and now Jacob Latz faces Mike Trout, starting the top of the 9th. Ball 1.
Trout hit a home run last night on a changeup. Latz has a good changeup. Elevated fastball usually comes back with a changeup after.
Latz worked a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Back on the mound here in the ninth as Trout takes upstairs again. It's 2-0. Trout, then Shonowell and Soler due up in this inning. Angels trying to break the tie and win a series on the road for the first time in several weeks. It lands and it's 2-1. Angels' last road series win was in Detroit at the end of May. Trying to go 5-1 to start the year against the Rangers. And there's ball 3 to Trout.
Well, he really tried to turn that changeup over.
What would you expect here if you're Trout?
He's got to sit fastball here. To sit fastball up and away, see if he can drive it far to right center.
The 12-time All-Star Trout hits one in the air toward right, but slicing out of play, and it is foul. Trout and Latz will be teammates on Tuesday night at the All-Star game.
Could be an interesting conversation if Trout is able to get him.
Wearing the road grays with the National League Phillies as the host. Well, next year the Cubs are hosting, so it'll be road grays again for the American League. Used to alternate. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Trout. Leading off in the ninth inning. Trout fouls one back.
I think Trout would love that spot back again.
His 18th home run of the year yesterday, is 22nd in Arlington, Texas. He has the 3rd most ever by a visitor to Arlington. To tie Reggie Jackson with 1 here. And he fouls it off.
Good battle here.
Reggie has the most home runs also overall against the franchise of the Rangers. Trout tied with Harmon Killebrew for second with 48 career home runs. He grounds this one sharply, but right down the line to Young. Was a good arm and shows it off there. 1 out.
We'll take a look at the StatCast lead powered by Google Cloud. What Nolan Shonowell did today on all those pitches away. 2 singles and a double. Outer half of the plate. This is one of those times, though, he might try to sneak something on the inner part of the plate. This is where he could do some damage.
Ball 1 to Nolan Shonowell. 4 times on base today. 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Lefty here against Latz. Lefties have had slightly more success against him than right-handers have. Shonowell turns on one and keeps it fair down the right field line. Extra bases for Shonowell. His 5th time on base, his 4th hit, and the go-ahead run in scoring position.
Boy, you're talking about a Shonowell night. 4 knocks. Couple doubles. Well, that pitch inside. It was upstairs too. Still brought his hands up at 96. Caught that one out in front, just like the other 3 we just showed on that StatCast 3D. How he caught those pitches, even though they were away out in front of the plate. And a pinch runner now. Shonowell goes, what more could I do? Didn't you see how fast I went first to third?
He's replaced at second base by Oswald Peraza.
They'll move Grissom over to first.
Here is Jorge Soler as he takes ball 1. Angels now only have their other catcher Heineman available, so they've used up most of their bench, as have the Rangers, with Elias Diaz behind the plate now.
Change up, down and away. And we got a base hit on a change up earlier tonight, back in that 7th inning.
Nicky Lopez, the only Ranger left on their bench. 1 ball, 1 strike on Soler. That's right in there. Would you consider running here if you're Peraza?
Not on this count now, though. With one strike for sure.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Soler chases a bad ball in the dirt for strike 3. So Latz gets his 3rd strikeout and the 2nd out of this 9th inning. Now with 2 outs, Grissom due up, and Diaz goes to the mound to talk to Latz.
Well, you're certainly not going to pitch around him to get to Joe Adell, that's for sure.
Adell 8 hits in his last 4 games, including just the 1 at bat today. He tied up this game with an RBI single. Grissom had a big night yesterday. The Angels' first baseman the last 2 nights, combining for 8 hits. Grissom had 4 playing first base yesterday, and Shonowell has 4 tonight.
A lot of hits at first base.
Big swing by Grissom, and it's 0-1.
Playing deep enough, even a flare into the outfield will allow Peraza to score to go ahead run here.
And a chance for that one, but fouled it off.
Just make some contact here. Make a play.
Peraza does finally take off for third and makes it without a throw, so that could help. A wild pitch or an infield hit.
Puts a lot more pressure on a defense with that guy at third base. A lot more.
Peraza trying to get Latz's attention at third base. Has to be a little careful over there. Young is not that far away.
Let's have one wild pitch.
Line foul past third.
That big blast at Comerica Park in Detroit. See if he can come through here again.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and it's upstairs to make it 2-2 on Grissom. Fights off another.
That was a tough pitch. Good job at just fouling that one off. Close enough to the strike zone. You have to go after it. It was a little above it. It fouled off a tough pitcher's pitch.
Two outs. Go ahead run at third. And Grissom continues to make Latz work here, nearing 40 pitches. Latz has had a lot of multiple inning outings.
It's a pitch in a while, like you mentioned, so this is one of those times, the more throws you make, the more chances are you're going to make a mistake.
This is the second most pitches he's thrown in a game this year. The only time Latz threw more pitches in a game than tonight was when they were still keeping him stretched out as a starter. At the very beginning of the season, he worked 4 innings and threw 68 pitches, but this is his longest outing since becoming a traditional reliever. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Grissom. Go ahead run at third base. And it's way upstairs.
Wow. What a play that was to catch that one. I don't know how he caught that one. That's one of those ones that hurt your shoulder trying to get up to get that.
Especially with the gas on it. Diaz.
That might not have been easy to score on. It would have been back to the backstop so quick.
You hear that netting behind home plate, which would have helped. Peraza stole third. He's still there. And Grissom stays alive again. Very long at bat. Vaughn Grissom trying to give the Angels the lead. This next pitch will be the 11th. And it's ball 4. What a great at bat by Grissom.
That was an excellent at bat. That was a good take on that one too. Giving your hottest hitter a chance to swing the bat if he gets the opportunity.
Joe Adell had a pinch hit RBI single which tied the game in the 7th. Now he has a chance to give the Angels the lead here in the 9th inning.
I think he's going to get that shot though against Latz.
So Latz unable to finish this 9th inning. And Skip Schumacher has to go back to his bullpen. His all-star closer comes out of the game with the go-ahead run at third. And Family Fun Pack makes it easy to get 4 tickets for hot dogs and 4 soft drinks, all for just $44 at the Big A. For more information regarding the Toyota Friends and Family Fun Pack, call 714-4-ANGELS or visit angels.com/funpack. And the Angels can have some fun here with a come-from-behind victory. It'll be their largest of the year as Orange Lutheran High School's Cole Wynn enters the game here in the top of the 9th with the go-ahead run at third for the Angels.
See that splitter grip he has. He has 3 wild pitches in his 31 innings pitched.
First pitch to Joe Adell, ball 1.
And go back to Hyundai key for the game today. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. A chance to win 2 out of 3 with a base hit right here for Joe Adell.
Adell's had multiple hits in 3 straight games entering today and has a chance for a 4th in a row. Despite this only being his 2nd at bat of the game. He knocked in the tying run with a pinch hit single in the 7th. Cole Wynn was drafted by the Rangers in 2018 as a 1st-round pick out of Orange Lutheran High School. This is only his 3rd year in the big leagues. Adell tags one toward left center. It backs up Carter, and he's got it to end the inning.
Oh, that was a rocket.
In the bottom of the 9th inning, the former Texas Ranger who had an incredible season here for Texas as an all-star 2 years ago. Yates has been better of late, and he is trying to keep this one evened up. It's 6-6.
9-1-2 in the lineup here for the Rangers.
Yates has been able to sink his ERA all the way down to 2.75. It's been a nice run here for Yates, which included his 100th career save recently. Alejandro Osuna looks at strike one. Over the last 10 appearances for Yates, he has not given up an earned run. He's only allowed 2 hits, and his ERA has fallen from over 5 down to where it is now at 2.75. Bouncer up the middle, tough play, and Peraza can't make it. So Osuna just bounces one through, and the Rangers get their leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 9th.
Made so much contact this season overall against the Halos, and that's just straight back up the middle. Tell you how quick this infield is. They're coming in this game 8 for 13. Now another base hit.
Brings up Nicky Lopez, who pinch hits for Justin Foscue. Foscue getting the start against the lefty. Performed well. He had a home run and an RBI double today, but with the right-hander Yates on the mound, it's Lopez who comes in, and Lopez has always been a very valuable bunter. This is an opportunity, you would think, for Lopez to try to move Osuna to second.
I would think that's exactly what he's being asked to do. Osuna can run a little bit too. Would they try to steal a bag?
If the Rangers try to get anything going here with Lopez at the plate and Osuna at first. Lopez squares and takes ball 1. Peraza staying in to play second base after running for Shotwell. Grissom now at first. Lopez bunts a pop-up that lands foul. Angels Live presented by Kia, the post-game show. And a lot to dissect from this one. The Angels behind early, battled back with a 5-run 7th. Not been able to take a lead yet tonight, but will have a chance in the 10th if Yates can get out of this inning.
That's a veteran on the mound. He's elevating the fastball upstairs, makes it more difficult to try to bunt and get it down when it's elevated like that.
Lopez trying to get that bunt down for Langford on deck as he squares around again, and this time it is down. Grissom with the only play at first, so Lopez does his job, and the winning run now at second base for Texas with Wyatt Langford and then Brandon Nimmo duet.
A real good job of bunting there by Nicky Lopez.
Langford just back from the injured list today after missing some games with a hamstring injury. He was only on the IL for 2 weeks. Done well against the Angels, carried a 9-game hitting streak against them into today. He's 0 for 4 in this one with 3 strikeouts.
Good decision. Just got to make sure you're paying attention to him. As Ricky Henderson would say, the easiest bag to steal is third base if you're not paying attention.
Osuna has good speed. He's at second base. Outfield's fairly deep for Langford.
He takes a healthy hack, that's for sure.
It's tough to think about how the defense should be played here, because where they are, a base hit in front of them probably ends the game.
There's a lot of power in that swing, though. I think you got to respect that.
They want to be deep enough, though, to catch a longer fly ball, so that's why you see them where they are. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there is a long fly ball to left. Back for it is Siri. It is over his head, off the wall, and it ends the ball game. Osuna comes in. Wyatt Langford drives one over the outfield, over the head of Siri. And with his first game back from the injured list, he torments the Angels again. He finishes off a 7-6 win for Texas.
Yeah, he just was able to bring his hands inside just enough. After Joe Dell hit a rocket himself, 109, it was caught. This one in, how strong he is. He's able to get it over the head. Siri to walk it off. Inside with that fastball, but he brought his hands in quickly on that one and got it over the head of Siri.
So Kirby Yates, who had been performing well out of the bullpen over the last few weeks, gives up a leadoff single, then a sac bunt, then a double off the wall. And Wyatt Langford, the Toyota player of the game, with the game-winning hit and RBI.
Having him back is huge for the Rangers.
They're in first place, and they beat the Angels 7-6 tonight.